Hi, Kathryn.
Hi.
Thanks for helping my project.
Of course.
Can you say a little bit about yourself?
Well, I've been working at NASA for about a year and a half now. I work on the Orion flight suits as a project engineer for the off-nominal waste management system.
So I normally ask people if they know NASA's going back to the moon. That would be a wasted question.
Yes, I do.
Yes, but I sure hope so. You know?
Yeah, I hope so too.
When did you find out that NASA is really serious about going back to the moon?
Oh, I don't know, maybe about a decade ago. My
Oh,
mom's
really?
worked at NASA my whole career, so I knew kind of early-ish maybe, or once I started paying attention to what my mom was doing a little bit more, I realized that she was trying to get us back to the moon and not just stay in low Earth orbit with ISS.
That's amazing. And did your mom inspire you, or was it something else?
Yes, my mom was who inspired me to actually work at NASA and made me realize I wanted to work there. She's worked there so long that I grew up with it, and it was just so cool. And when I went to college, it gave me inspiration and realized how cool she was, because I never really thought about how cool space was because I grew up here. But once I kind of got out of my bubble, I realized how cool it was, and I wanted to come back and push us to the moon.
That's amazing. So you would be like, oh, my mom works at NASA, and people are like, oh, your mom works at NASA.
Yes, or I would say oh, I know astronauts, and they'd be like, what? Do you know astronauts? And I'm like, well, I grew up with them. I went to school with their kids. It was just normal for me.
Yeah, you're like, you don't?
Yeah, exactly. That was my thought process. I was like, oh, and then I realized how cool it was that you actually know an astronaut. And I was like, wow, okay.
Well, that's amazing you got the experience to really appreciate what you have.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it a lot more now.
And so whenever you think where it might take us, and if you to fast forward 200 years, do you see humanity being multiplanetary, or?
Oh yeah, I see us having a station or at least some sort of outpost on the moon, and if not just the moon, also on Mars. I think we will go to different planets and we will explore it with boots on the surface. So boots on the moon, and that's the goal right now, but I know that the goal in the future is to go even further than that and go to Mars and possibly other planets one day, or asteroids or something. And I think we will get there in 200 years for sure.
And in 200 years, you think it's just a few half dozen people, or you think it's thousands or millions or billions?
I think in 200 years there will be travel like there is airplanes here, where it's commonplace to fly from one place to the other. I think it'll be maybe not quite that level, but I think we will be flying regularly out there, out to wherever.
Talking about flying out there, if you could, would you take a trip to space?
No. That terrifies me.
Oh, really?
Terrifies me. I'm not good. I love flying, but I'm not good with the feeling of almost weightlessness. Yeah, I couldn't do the launch and the entry, anything on the rockets. I think it's fascinating, and I have a lot of appreciation for people who do, but I personally could never be an astronaut.
If you see thousands of people going and coming back, would that change your mind?
Maybe, yes. If it was thousands of people, then I would. But right now, with it only being, dozens, I don't think I could do it. But I think that maybe if there was hundreds of people, thousands of people doing it regularly every year, then I probably would try it. But
Not
no,
right
it scares
now.
me. No, I have a lot of respect for people who go up to the moon or go up to the ISS, go into space. It's just very, very impressive, and I could never do it. But I'm glad somebody is willing to get strapped to a rocket and get sent to space, because that's my job.
That's awesome. Well, Kathryn, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Of course. Thank you.